Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today in this video we are going to discuss about the steps involved in recording, which is the first step in accounting process. There are 4 steps involved in recording: analyze, record, post and prepare. Analyze, record, post and prepare. Let us start with the very first one, analyze. Under analyze, we analyze the financial transaction as to what is going to be their impact on different accounts like assets, liabilities, shareholders' equity, etc. So what is actually the impact of a transaction that is judged, that is analyzed under the very first step, which is called analyze. So for the purpose of analysis, for the purpose of analyzing the transaction, accounting equation is something which is prepared. Accounting equation is assets is equal to liabilities plus capital. Capital is used in case of sole proprietorship or proprietorship business, but in case of companies and corporation, it is shareholders' equity which is used, because the capital is contributed by the general public or the shareholders of the company. Therefore, in place of capital, we write shareholders' equity. Shareholders' equity can be further subdivided into common shares and retained earnings. Students, we all know that in order to raise capital, company issues shares to general public, right? Companies require to pay dividends to their shareholders, although it is not compulsory for them to pay them, to declare them, but it is always beneficial for a company to declare dividends, as it is going to build a good market value of the company in the eyes of the shareholders. It is going to increase the reputation of the company and the market price will increase and so on. Therefore, it is always beneficial for a company to declare dividends to shareholders. Right? Now, students, dividends are declared out of the earnings of the company. What are the earnings? Earnings means the total earnings of the company, which is revenue minus expenses. Whatever the company has earned by way of revenue minus all the expenses, including tax expense and interest expense, gives total earnings of the company. Now, out of these total earnings, the company distribute a part to the shareholders in the form of dividends. The remaining part, which is left over with the company for future purposes, for future growth, etc., is called retained earnings. Those earnings which have been retained by the company. Let us take an example. If the company has earned earnings of 50,000, now this 50,000 has come after deducting all the expenses, including interest expense, tax expense, from all the revenues that the company generated. Okay, so this 50,000 is the total income of the company. You can say the net profit of the company, total earning of the company. Okay, now out of this 50,000, if the company declares 10,000 as dividend, then remaining 40,000 is the amount which the company is keeping with itself for future purposes, for future growth purposes. So that 40,000 is called retained earnings. Alright, so shareholders' equity consists of common shares, that means the capital which is contributed by the shareholders, and the retained earnings, which is the earning which has been retained by the company for future purposes. Now let us discuss the accounting equation in detail. Accounting equation is also shown in expanded form. In expanded form means all the assets are separately disclosed, all the liabilities are separately disclosed, and all the components of shareholders' equity are also separately disclosed. Let's take an example. Accounting equation is also shown in expanded form. In expanded form means all the assets are separately disclosed, all the liabilities are separately disclosed, and all the components of shareholders' equity are also separately disclosed. This is the example of an accounting equation. Here, assets are equal to liabilities plus shareholders' equity. Now you can see that there are subdivisions of assets like cash, accounts receivable, and machinery. Liabilities, it's account payable and bank loan. For shareholders' equity, the subdivision is common shares plus retained earnings. When I say retained earnings is equal to revenue minus expense minus dividend. We know that retained earnings is always equal to net income or net profits minus dividend, which means revenue minus expense minus dividend is the retained earnings. Now, I have written this balance here. This balance shows the balance of retained earnings on the opening date. Okay, the opening balance of retained earnings is shown under this column of balance. If there is no opening balance given, then this balance column will not be shown in the accounting equation. Right? Now in this question, you will find that for each transaction, assets will always be equal to liabilities plus shareholders' equity. Now let's start with the question. I have just made the format in advance so that it becomes easy for us to understand. Now this is the question which has 10 transactions. X Limited had the following balances on 1st August. We are making it month-wise. So on 1st August, that means the opening balance is cash 8,000, accounts receivable 5,000, accounts payable 5,000, common shares 6,000 and retained earnings 2,000. Now we will just have to write the opening balance on as the very first transaction, balance on 1st August or opening balance, whichever is suitable, you write that. Now cash, what is the opening balance of cash? It is 8,000. So we'll be writing 8,000 here. Then account receivable has a balance of 5,000. Machinery, there is no machinery opening balance. Accounts payable has a balance of 5,000 and common shares 6,000 and retained earnings 2,000. Now there is no column of retained earnings, but since the balance is given, so I'll write it on the balance side, 2,000. Now you will find that the total of this is equal to the total of this side, right? 8 plus 5, 13,000 is equal to 5 plus 6 plus 2, 13,000. This shows that for the very first transaction, the assets are equal to liabilities plus shareholders' equity. Let's take the next transaction. Purchased machinery on account for 5,000. Now see, the purpose of preparing accounting equation is to see what is the effect of the transaction on various accounts. Now see, when you purchase a machinery, okay, what comes in and what goes out, this is what you have to basically analyze. What comes in? When you're purchasing machinery, machinery comes in, okay? Machinery is coming. For how much? What is the amount of the machinery? 5,000. Since we write only monetary things here, financial things in the accounting, so therefore we'll not be writing anything else, but we'll be writing the amount of that asset. So we have got the machinery for 5,000. But what has gone out? If instead of on account, on cash was written, then we would have subtracted cash because cash would have gone out, right? You have taken the machinery and cash has gone out. You have paid for the machinery. But in this case, it is on account. On account means you have made a creditor. You have to make the payment on future date. This is a credit transaction and you have not paid for the machinery yet. Since you will be paying it on a future date, it is the accounts payable that has been created. Accounts payable means something you will be paying in future. It's your liability because you have to make payment in on future date. Okay, so cash will not be deducted, but accounts payable will be created. So machinery has come in and accounts payable has been, a liability has been created. Now again you will find that 5,000 is equal to 5,000. That means this transaction is also correct. Okay, paid rupees 5,000 as salary. Okay, now it is written paid rupees 5,000. What has gone out? Salary. You have paid salary, that means your cash has deducted. It has not written on account, okay? It is saying that salary has been paid. That means expense has been made, okay? So the two accounts that are affected here are cash account. Cash is reduced by 5,000. Okay, when something is reduced,
When something is reduced, when the amount is reduced, you show it by either minus sign or by the brackets, whichever you find better. So minus 5,000 in cash, and you have paid salary. That means expense. An expense is created. So under expense, this side, see, expense, you will write minus 5,000. Okay, expense is always subtracted, so you will write minus 5,000 in expense. Salary is an expense. Next, provided services to Y Limited for 4,500 on account. Now again, you have provided services, okay, to somebody. If you have provided services, that you must have got the cash, but you have not got the cash. It is on account. That means it is a credit transaction. Cash has not come in. What is created? Accounts receivable. That means you will receive it on a future date. Something you will receive on a future date. So this is 4,500 in third transaction will be your accounts receivable, because this is what you have to get on a future date. Now you have provided services. Service revenue is something which is created in this case. Service revenue. See, when you provide services, you get revenue for it. Okay. Here you're not getting revenue because it is on account. That means credit transaction. So accounts receivable is created. But at the same time, revenue account is also affected because this is the revenue earned. Okay. So again, in this case, two accounts are, both the sides are equal. Next is paid 500 cash for telephone expenses. Telephone expenses, students, are smaller in amount, so it is basically utilities expenses. Telephone expenses are also known as utilities expenses, and for telephone expenses, utilities account is created, right? Now, paid cash. Cash has been paid, so you will deduct 500 from cash. This is fourth transaction. Under 4, you will be writing paid 500. So minus 500 because you have paid 500 for telephone expenses. Okay, now this is your expense or liability or revenue. What is it? This is your expense. When you simple, when you pay something, expense account is created. Okay, and your cash is deducted. So your cash is deducted and your expense account is created. So you will subtract 500 from expense, right? Now the next one, borrowed 15,000 from the bank. You have borrowed 15,000. When you borrow something, your loan account is created, okay, because you're borrowing. So your loan is created, and at the same time you're getting cash, okay. So in the fifth transaction, your cash is increased by 15,000 because you're getting cash, and at the same time your loan account is created with again 15,000. So again, both the sides are equal. Next transaction, paid supplier for machinery purchased in transaction 1. Now in this transaction, first transaction, you purchased machinery on account for 5,000. Okay. Now in sixth transaction, you are paying 5,000 to the supplier. Okay, in this first transaction, you opened accounts payable account, right? Accounts payable was opened. Now, since you are paying, that means accounts payable is now subtracted by rupees 5,000, and at the same time your money is going out, so you are just subtracting 5,000 from the cash. Let's understand again. You're paying the supplier. When you are paying, your cash is reduced. As simple as that. Okay, in any payment case, your cash will be reduced if it is on cash basis. But this was a credit transaction, so you will not write it under expense. In other cases, you would have written it as an expense and you have subtracted it from expense. But in this case, you already opened an account for it, which was accounts payable. You already added this amount in transaction 1. In this transaction 1, you added this amount as 5,000 in accounts payable. So you have to subtract this amount from this account only. This will not be shown in expense. This will be deducted from accounts payable only, because in the earlier transaction, you opened accounts payable account only. Okay, so you have to show the effect in that account. Next is purchase an insurance policy for 600. Students, whether written or not, it is obvious, it is assumed that an insurance policy is always for a future date. Okay, so when you are purchasing an insurance policy for cash, that means your money is going out. Purchase, if you're purchasing something, you are paying something, your money is going out. So as simple as that, the very first thing will be you will subtract the amount from the cash column. Now, you are creating an insurance policy. Insurance policy means prepaid insurance. You can also say prepaid insurance. So, prepaid insurance is your asset. I have not created an account here. So, I will add it. Prepaid insurance, and you will add it as 600. Okay. See, let's understand again. Purchase insurance policy, that means cash is deducted because you're purchasing it, you're paying money for it. And a new asset is created, which is prepaid insurance. It is your new asset that has been created. Next is received 3000 cash in partial payment of the account owed in transaction 3. Now you have received 3000. Very first thing, cash has been received by the company. That means you will add 3000 to cash. Very simple. Now, in regard to which account you have got this cash? In regard to the third transaction, that means this 4500. So that means it was on account transaction. Again, you will not write it in revenues, you will show it in accounts receivable. See, in the third transaction, what did you do? You opened accounts receivable. Okay, so you will deduct it from accounts receivable only, minus 3000. Let us understand it again. The question is saying received 3000 cash. When it says received, you will add it in cash column. Okay. In partial payment of the account owed in transaction 3. Now in third transaction, 4500 amount was due from a debtor. It was account 4500 was accounts receivable on a future date, right? Out of this 4500, 3000 has been received in transaction number 8. So since you have received 3000 from with respect to accounts receivable, so under this accounts receivable only you will deduct minus 3000. That this account which was opened is now closed with 3000. Okay. Next is declared and paid 500 of dividends to shareholders. Okay, now 500 rupees has been paid to shareholders. Since you are paying, then what will be deducted? Cash will be deducted. So you will subtract 500 from the cash. Okay, and what is the next impact? It is on the dividends. You're paying dividends, so in your dividends, under this dividends column, you will subtract 500 because you're paying dividends, and this is reducing your retained reducing your net income and making your retained earnings. Okay, paid dividends, so you're paying the dividends, you are subtracting 500 from cash, and you are subtracting 500 from the dividends column because you're paying the dividend. Next is paid income tax. Income tax paid, that means your cash has gone out again. When you're paying something, your cash is going out. When you're receiving something, your cash is coming in, so you will add cash in that case. Okay, now income tax is your expense. What type of account is income tax? It is expense account. So you will subtract it from the expense. From this expense, you will subtract 500. And now you can see for each transaction, assets are always equal to liabilities plus capital. Once all the transactions are completed, then you find out the closing balance, which is something you write at the end of the question, like this: balance on 31st August, or the closing balance, or as the case may be. Now you add all this, all the amounts, and you show it in the last column. Okay, so here I'm showing it. Now these are the closing balances. Okay, and if the question asks for total assets and total liabilities, then we can write total assets. The total assets are this plus this plus this. See, this is going to give you total assets. Okay, so total assets will be, this is your total assets, and your total liabilities will be the sum of all these. Now you can find that total assets is always equal to total liabilities.
This is all for today. See you with the next video.